What if the thing that you were taught was demonic is actually the only real conversation you've ever had with God? There's a common misunderstanding that people make when it comes to talking with God and having that direct relationship with God. I see psychics being demonized, and it's all due to lack of understanding and what's actually happening in the process. When you understand that God is consciousness, God is spirit, the way that we connect to God when we pray to God, that's us using our consciousness to intend to send a message directly to God. And the feedback system is the exact same, God's consciousness coming to our direct consciousness. Now here's where it gets interesting. These institutions and even cultural programs that are making us turn away from or demonizing this psychic relationship with God, what they're really doing is teaching us to turn away from God, to make the Bible God, to make something external God. They're teaching us to turn away from our inner relationship with God, the actual authentic relationship with God as consciousness. The word psyche, which psychic is derived from, means spirit or soul. So to be psychic means to receive conscious intuitions, revelations, knowingness, and guidance. And that's what it is. When you set the intent to receive guidance from God and you get that intuitive hit, you get that consciousness hit, you get that psychic hit, that's what's happening. That's the modality. That's the medium of revelation, God's consciousness directly to your consciousness. And if you need proof, look no further than the prophets in the Bible. A majority of them were psychic. They all got this inner knowingness. Yet, because the institutions were teaching us to make that wrong, we don't even recognize it when it's right in front of our face. The truth is, we're all psychic. It's whether or not we recognize the certain things that are happening to us as actually receiving understanding. Oftentimes, we make the mistake of crediting the logical, analytical, or intellectual mind to the understanding, not realizing that it was an actual revelation, an intuitive hit that we received. The word psychic has really been made wrong, purposefully in some cases, and due to ignorance in others. A practice we can begin with today in order to receive guidance from God, consciousness to consciousness, is to close our eyes and start watching our awareness. Send out an intent for guidance on a specific thing from God, and now watch what comes to your mind. Surrender everything that is not love, as that's not in alignment with God, and we're only beginning to cultivate this ability. Do this practice consistently, and you will develop a trust and conviction in the guidance you are receiving. So hopefully this helps you see it from a different perspective. Some of our spiritual awakening will come from refining out those make-wrongs that the institutions and cultures were encouraging us to invest in. And in doing so, we're taking our power back, stepping into the more authentic version of ourselves and the less conditioned ego. Because as long as you're praying with the intention to receive guidance from God, what would you have to fear? Can you not trust God to do that for you? They didn't demonize psychics to protect you from the devil. They demonized psychics to protect themselves from you knowing God without them. Because a person who has a direct, unfiltered, consciousness-to-consciousness relationship with God doesn't need to be controlled, doesn't need to be managed, and doesn't need permission. You have never needed a building, a title, or a middleman to talk to God. You never did. The line has always been open. The only thing that was ever blocking it was what they told you to believe about yourself. Comment liberated if you're finished with talking yourself out of truth because they said it was wrong. Or comment authentic if you're ready for that direct relationship with God over religion. Save this and share it with someone who's been made to feel crazy for hearing God. You are loved and you are love.